Welcome back to our channel, Rare Coins All World, coin enthusiasts and collectors. Today, we have an exciting journey ahead of us as we delve into the fascinating world of the 1974 Washington quarter dollar. A coin that, at first glance, may seem like just another piece of pocket change, but when you dig deeper, you'll realize it holds a story and value that could surprise you. Stick with us until the end, where we'll reveal just how much this seemingly ordinary coin could be worth today. You won't want to miss it. The Washington quarter dollar has been an iconic part of American coinage since 1932, celebrating George Washington, the nation's first president. Over the years, the design has undergone some changes, but the core elements have remained the same: George Washington's profile on the obverse and the majestic eagle on the reverse. This coin is familiar to most people in the U.S., but there's something about the 1974 Washington quarter dollar that makes it particularly interesting to collectors. 1974 was a year of political and cultural shifts in America. The country was in the midst of significant social changes, and the economy was moving through a period of inflation and stagnation. These factors made the minting of coins like the 1974 quarter dollar an essential part of keeping the economy running smoothly. The year also marked a turning point in the public's relationship with money, as many people began to hold on to certain coins as collectibles or even as investments. The 1974 Washington quarter, minted by the U.S. Mint, has a classic design that appeals to both history buffs and coin collectors alike. The obverse of the coin features a detailed portrait of George Washington, created by John Flanagan. This image is both timeless and symbolic, as it captures the dignified nature of the first president of the United States. On the reverse side, the coin displays a powerful image of an eagle holding arrows and an olive branch, representing strength and peace. The design, while simple, has become a symbol of American unity and resilience. Now, let's talk about the specifics of the 1974 Washington quarter dollar and why it could be more valuable than you might think. Like many coins, the value of the 1974 quarter can vary based on its condition, mint mark, and any rare features or errors. The U.S. Mint produced the 1974 quarter at multiple locations, and the mint mark plays a key role in determining the rarity and desirability of the coin. If you look closely at your 1974 quarter, you'll notice a small mint mark just under Washington's neck. This mint mark indicates where the coin was produced. If the coin has no mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia. If there's a D mint mark, it was minted in Denver, and a S mint mark signifies it was struck in San Francisco. Generally speaking, coins from the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark are the most common, followed by those from the Denver Mint. The San Francisco coins, particularly proof versions, are typically rarer and more valuable, so it's always worth checking which mint your coin hails from. When it comes to value, one of the most important factors is the condition of the coin. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition is far more valuable than one that has been heavily circulated. Over time, coins that have been used in daily transactions show signs of wear, like scratches, dings, and fading. However, if you have a 1974 Washington quarter that looks as though it just came off the minting press, you could be holding onto a small treasure. Coins that are in excellent condition, especially those with a high grade, are much more sought after by collectors. What's even more exciting is that there are specific varieties of the 1974 Washington quarter that can fetch a higher price. These varieties are often the result of minting errors or subtle design changes that occurred during production. A famous example of this is the 1974 Washington quarter with a double die error. This happens when the die used to stamp the coin was misaligned, causing some of the details on the coin to appear doubled. These error coins are highly coveted by collectors because they are rare and stand out from the regular production coins. Another factor that can increase the value of your 1974 quarter is if it was part of a special set, such as the proof sets that the U.S. Mint produced for collectors in that year. Proof coins are specially made with polished dies and a slower minting process to create coins with a mirror-like finish. These proof coins are often of superior quality and can be worth much more than regular strike coins. So, how much could a 1974 Washington quarter really be worth? While the typical 1974 quarter dollar might only fetch a few dollars in circulation, if you've got one in excellent condition, with a rare mint mark, or with a minting error, the value can rise significantly. For collectors seeking out specific varieties or rare coins, the value can reach impressive heights. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for: how much could a truly rare and well-preserved 1974 Washington quarter dollar be worth today? If you're lucky enough to have a coin in mint condition, or if you've stumbled upon one of the famous error varieties, your 1974 Washington quarter could be worth up to $130,000. That's right, $130,000. It's incredible to think that a coin, which was produced in large numbers and may seem like an ordinary piece of currency, could have such a staggering value. Today, we've got an exciting topic that will surely pique the interest of both seasoned collectors and new coin enthusiasts alike. We're diving into the world of the 1970 Washington quarter dollar. While it might seem like a regular piece of U.S. currency, this particular coin could hold much more value than you would expect. If you've got a 1970 Washington quarter tucked away in your collection, or maybe one that's just sitting in your spare change jar, you'll want to keep watching as we uncover just how much this coin could be worth today. The Washington quarter dollar has been a staple in American coinage for decades. Since its introduction in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, this coin has been one of the most enduring symbols of the U.S. Mint. The iconic design, featuring a portrait of President George Washington on the obverse and a majestic eagle on the reverse, has remained largely unchanged over the years. But just because this coin has a familiar look doesn't mean it's any less special, especially the 1970 version. To understand why the 1970 Washington quarter dollar is so valuable, let's take a closer look at the year itself. 1970 was a significant time in U.S. history. The country was in the midst of the Vietnam War, and the social and political climate was shifting rapidly. The economy was also going through a period of growth and inflation. This led to the U.S. Mint continuing its work of producing coins for circulation, including the 1970 Washington quarter. Now, what makes the 1970 Washington quarter dollar stand out? The first thing to note is the coin's mint mark. The U.S. Mint produced quarters at several different locations, each marked with a different mint mark: D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and no mint mark for Philadelphia. But what really sets the 1970 Washington quarter apart is the rare occurrence of certain minting errors and special varieties, which we'll dive into shortly. The 1970 Washington quarter generally has a simple, yet iconic design. The obverse features the well-known profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. This image has become a hallmark of U.S. coinage, and its classic look has stood the test of time. On the reverse side, the eagle stands proudly, holding an olive branch and arrows, symbolizing the balance between peace and strength, a powerful reminder of America's values. For most people, a 1970 Washington quarter may seem like just another coin from the 70s, but that's where you might be missing out. Let's talk about the condition of your coin. As with any collectible, condition plays a huge role in determining its value. If the quarter has been circulating for years and shows signs of wear and tear, its value will be closer to its face value, just 25 cents. However, if you happen to come across one that is in uncirculated or mint condition, that's where the value starts to soar. A coin that has been well preserved, free of scratches, dings, or other signs of heavy circulation, is much more desirable to collectors. The higher the grade of the coin, the higher the price it can fetch. Coins in perfect or near-perfect condition are highly sought after, and when it comes to Washington quarters, this is especially true for the 1970 version. But it's not just the condition of the coin that can increase its value. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1970 Washington quarter is the potential for minting errors. These errors can make a coin extremely valuable. A minting error could include things like double strikes, where the die used to stamp the coin was misaligned, resulting in a coin that has details that appear more than once. Other errors could include off-center strikes, die cracks, or even unique inconsistencies in the coin's design. Coins with minting errors are rare, and because of their uniqueness, they are often worth far more than their regular counterparts. Collectors love these error coins because they represent a mistake in the minting process, making them one-of-a-kind pieces. If you happen to find a 1970 Washington quarter with a minting error, it could be worth much more than just a couple of dollars, but wait, there's more. The 1970 Washington quarter also comes in a special variety that makes it even more appealing to collectors, the proof coin. Proof coins are specially minted for collectors, using polished dies and a slower minting process that gives the coin a shiny, mirror-like finish. Proof coins are typically produced in limited quantities, making them rarer and more valuable. If you've got a proof version of the 1970 Washington quarter, that could significantly increase its value compared to a regular strike coin. So, how much can a 1970 Washington quarter really be worth? Well, if your quarter is in excellent condition, or if you have one with a rare minting error or a proof variety, you're looking at a much higher value than the standard quarter. In fact, some of these coins can fetch up to $110,000. Yes, you heard that right, $110,000. It might sound unbelievable, but certain rare 1970 Washington quarters, especially those with minting errors or in pristine condition, have sold for incredible prices at auction. So, before you let that old quarter slip through your fingers, take a second to check its condition and mint mark. You could be holding onto a coin that's worth far more than just a few cents. Today, we're going to be talking about a coin that may look like a regular piece of US currency, but it has the potential to be worth far more than you could imagine, the 1984 Washington quarter dollar. Whether you've come across one in your change or you're just starting to build your collection, you'll want to hear what we have to say about this special coin and its hidden value. The Washington quarter has been a staple in US coinage for nearly a century. First introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, this iconic coin has been minted in various designs and styles. From the classic portrait of Washington on the obverse to the powerful eagle on the reverse, the Washington quarter represents the spirit of America, strength, and freedom. But, what makes the 1984 Washington quarter stand out in the world of coin collecting? To answer that question, we need to take a closer look at the history and production of the 1984 Washington quarter. By the early 1980s, the U.S. Mint had already established a pretty consistent process for producing quarters, but that didn't mean that everything was running perfectly. The 1984 Washington quarter is part of the ongoing series of quarters minted in the standard copper-nickel clad composition. It's not a commemorative coin, like the ones issued for special anniversaries, but it still carries a certain appeal due to its age and some unique characteristics that collectors find particularly fascinating. One of the key factors that can affect the value of the 1984 Washington quarter is the condition of the coin. Coins that have been circulated in the everyday economy often show signs of wear, including scratches, dents, and fading. However, coins that are uncirculated, or in near-perfect condition, are much more valuable in the world of coin collecting. When a coin is kept in pristine condition and has little to no contact with the elements, it becomes far more desirable to collectors looking to add high-quality pieces to their collection. But the value of the 1984 Washington quarter doesn't stop at its condition alone. Like all coins, the 1984 quarter also has its mint mark, which tells you where it was produced. The mint marks on Washington quarters can be found on the obverse side, right next to the date. The 1984 quarters could have been minted in Philadelphia, which has no mint mark, Denver, marked with a D, or San Francisco, marked with an S. Coins from different minting locations can sometimes vary in value, with those produced at the San Francisco Mint often being rarer and more valuable than those from the other locations. However, in this case, we're primarily focusing on the condition and rarity of the coin itself, regardless of the minting location. What truly sets the 1984 Washington quarter apart from other coins is the potential for finding rare varieties or minting errors. Minting errors are mistakes made during the production process, and they can significantly increase the value of a coin. Some of the most common types of errors include double strikes, where the die strikes the coin more than once, off-center strikes, or die cracks, which cause lines to appear on the coin's surface. These mistakes create coins that are unique, and collectors often pay a premium for coins with minting errors, as they are one-of-a-kind pieces. Another feature that can impact the value of the 1984 Washington quarter is the presence of a proof version. Proof coins are specially minted for collectors and are produced with a more meticulous process. They are struck multiple times using polished dies, resulting in a coin with a mirror-like finish. Proof coins are usually produced in smaller quantities than regular circulation coins, and they tend to have higher quality and greater detail. If you happen to have a proof version of the 1984 Washington quarter, it could be worth more than a standard coin of the same year. Now, you're probably wondering how much this coin could actually be worth if you happen to find one in exceptional condition, or with a rare minting error or proof version. Well, the value can vary widely based on those factors. For a typical 1984 Washington quarter in circulated condition, you're probably looking at a value that's very close to face value, just 25 cents. But if you've got a coin in uncirculated condition or one that features a minting error, the price can start to climb. And here's the part that might blow your mind: if you happen to find a rare 1984 Washington quarter, especially one with a major minting error or in pristine proof condition, you could be sitting on a coin that is worth a staggering $160,000. That's right, $160,000. It's truly amazing to think that a coin that was originally minted for just 25 cents could appreciate to such an enormous value. Of course, finding a 1984 Washington quarter with such a high value is rare. But the possibility is real, and there are stories of collectors who've uncovered incredible finds like this. That's why, if you have any 1984 Washington quarters in your possession, you should take the time to carefully inspect them. Look for any signs of minting errors, check the condition of the coin, and if it's in good shape, consider getting it professionally graded. If you have a coin with a rare feature or minting mistake, you could end up with a collector's dream. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins, and I've got a special one for you. We're going to take a closer look at the 1965 Washington quarter dollar with a mint mark that could be hiding a treasure you never expected. You might have seen this coin before, or maybe you have one in your collection or loose change, but did you know it could be worth way more than its face value? Stick around until the end, and I'll reveal just how much this 1965 Washington quarter could be worth in today's market. Let's start by talking about the history of this coin. The Washington quarter has been a staple in American coinage since its introduction in 1932. It was created to honor the first President of the United States, George Washington, on the 200th anniversary of his birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the coin's obverse, or front, features a portrait of Washington, while the reverse, or back, traditionally displays an eagle, symbolizing American strength and freedom. The 1965 Washington quarter is part of this long tradition, but it carries a unique significance in the history of U.S. coinage. 1965 was a pivotal year for U.S. currency. The United States was going through some major economic shifts, and one of the most important events was the change in coin composition. Prior to 1965, quarters were made from 90% silver and 10% copper. However, due to the rising cost of silver and the need to cut costs, the U.S. Mint switched to a clad composition for most coins. This meant that the 1965 quarter no longer contained silver, but was made of a copper-nickel clad material instead. This change significantly impacted the value of quarters produced in this year and in the years that followed. At first glance, a 1965 Washington quarter may seem like a standard piece of U.S. currency. However, there are a number of factors that could make this coin incredibly valuable. One of the key aspects to keep in mind is the minting process. The U.S. Mint produced these coins in large numbers, but not every coin made it out of the mint in perfect condition. Coins that have survived for decades in pristine condition are much rarer than you might think. Most 1965 quarters were circulated heavily, and over time, they have picked up wear, scratches, and discoloration. But if you happen to have one in excellent, uncirculated condition, you could be holding onto a coin that's worth far more than just 25 cents. So, let's talk about the different types of 1965 Washington quarters and why they could be worth so much. First of all, the mint mark on these coins is an important detail. The 1965 quarters were minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia minted quarters do not have a mint mark, while those minted in Denver carry a D mint mark, and those from San Francisco bear an S mint mark. In most cases, the 1965 quarters without a mint mark, produced in Philadelphia, are the most common, but some rare varieties can still be found among all 3 mint marks, depending on their condition and any minting errors. Now, let's talk about errors. If you've been around the coin collecting world for any time, you know that minting errors can make a coin much more valuable. These errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process, and they can include things like double strikes, where the coin is struck more than once by the die, or off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned. Sometimes, the US Mint even accidentally uses the wrong type of metal for a coin, which can lead to rare and valuable pieces. If you come across a 1965 Washington quarter with a minting error, this could be the jackpot that sets your coin apart from others and increases its worth substantially. The 1965 Washington quarter also has a variety of different finishes, with proof coins being the most valuable. Proof coins are specially minted with polished dies and struck multiple times to ensure the best possible quality. These coins are often produced in limited quantities, making them much rarer than regular circulation coins. If you happen to have a proof version of the 1965 Washington quarter, it could have a shiny, almost mirror-like finish and may command a higher price due to its rarity. But what makes the 1965 Washington quarter particularly special is its connection to silver. While most 1965 quarters were made with the new copper-nickel clad composition, a small number of quarters were accidentally struck using leftover silver planchets. These silver-clad 1965 quarters are incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. They are often worth far more than their copper-nickel counterparts due to their silver content, and their rarity makes them one of the most desirable finds for coin collectors. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for: how much is a 1965 Washington quarter worth? Well, the value depends on a variety of factors: its condition, the mint mark, and whether it has any minting errors. If you've got a 1965 quarter in mint condition or one with a rare error, you could be looking at a coin worth a lot more than just 25 cents. But the true gem here is the silver-clad 1965 Washington quarter, which is incredibly rare and can fetch astronomical prices in the right condition. Some of these quarters have been known to sell for as much as $190,000. That's right, $190,000 for a single 1965 Washington quarter. Imagine finding one of these rare silver-clad quarters hidden in your change jar or tucked away in your collection. If you're lucky enough to have one of these in good condition, you could be holding on to a small fortune. And even if it's not the silver-clad variety, a high-quality 1965 Washington quarter with no wear and tear or a unique minting error could still be worth a substantial amount. So, the next time you go through your spare change or dig through your collection of coins, take a closer look at those 1965 Washington quarters. They might be worth a lot more than you think. You just might have a coin that could be worth $190,000. Thanks for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more exciting coin discoveries. Happy collecting, and see you in the next video.